Good morning, everyone. Well, with one cold front coming through yesterday and another cold front coming through today, it is going to be a crazy cold day for mid-October in southern Wisconsin. And yes, I do think there's going to be some snow for some. In fact, I've already got to mention for the morning commute, if you're in Portage, Beaver Dam, there might be some flurries around. I think most of us are going to have a dry morning commute, but as we go through the day, I do expect more and more precipitation to be showing up. Now, notice at 11 a.m., not much of a change in most locations, but notice how the intensity picking up in the northeastern part of the area. So now we're talking about, looks like a period like this morning with scattered snow showers. But we're going to be right on the borderline for snow as far as temperatures go as we get into the afternoon. It does look like the early to mid-afternoon is when activity is going to be most widespread. And I do have to mention more activity to the east than the west. There are definitely going to be some gaps as we get into the western part of the area. Madison kind of in the transition zone. But it looks like it's going to be pretty widespread activity near the lake. Although I've also got to say, because temperatures are going to be warmer near the lake, it's probably going to be all rain right near the lake. But once you get just to the west of our most eastern counties, we're seeing Kenosha County, Milwaukee County, that's when the rain-snow mix is going to start. And because temperatures in general are a little bit cooler as you go to the west, more likely it's going to be snow coming down than rain. But we're definitely talking about a rain-snow mix for most. But I do think some flakes of snow are absolutely going to be mixing in, including around the Madison area. Because look at our high temperatures this afternoon. These are high temperatures. It's possible some might get stuck in the mid-30s. I think a lot of us upper 30s. The exception note is closer to the lake, getting into the low 40s. But the problem is, it is not going to be feeling this warm this afternoon because wind gusts this afternoon around 40 miles per hour. So you got to take 10 degrees off all these temperatures. So that means, yes, feeling no warmer than the mid-20s in some spots like Baraboo and Viroqua, the upper 20s for the Madison area, and even in Racine, Kenosha, we're talking about feels like temperatures in the low 30s. So that's what you need to be dressing for this afternoon. Now notice at 5 o'clock also, this is homebound commute time, notice the activity is starting to die down, still more to the east than the west. Still got to mention the chance, but notice not as much as we were seeing around 2 o'clock. But I do have to mention the possibility for a little bit of a rain-snow mix, but isolated at this point in the central part of the area, and a little bit more closer to the lake, but not as much as earlier in the day. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, I think all the activity will be back over the lake, and that is it for the precipitation. So the question is, how cold is it going to get tonight? Well, considering how cold it's going to be during the day, this actually is pretty lucky for us, I'd say, with these low temperatures, upper 20s, low 30s, although I do think some could get into the mid-20s. The reason why it's not going to be colder is because we're still going to have partly cloudy skies. In fact, probably still mostly cloudy near the lake. And it's still going to be breezy. So though our temperatures upper 20s, low 30s, what I want you to be prepared for late tonight, early Tuesday morning, when you're heading out the door, we're talking about still feels like temperatures about 10 degrees colder than the actual air temperatures. So I do think there are going to be spots that are going to be in the mid-teens for our wind chills. A lot of folks right around 20 degrees, and I don't think it's going to be any warmer than the low 20s, 22, 23 degrees. So what about Tuesday? It's probably going to be mostly cloudy near the lake, partly cloudy in the central part of southern Wisconsin, and then mostly sunny in the western part. So called partly cloudy overall for southern Wisconsin, but more clouds to the east, less to the west. But it does look like a dry day. Better than today, but still below normal. We should be in the upper 50s, low 60s this time of year. Instead, it's mainly going to be in the mid-40s. And I tell you what, the winds are going to be picking back up. Just breezy tonight, but we're going to call it windy again in the afternoon tomorrow. Gusts around 35 miles per hour. So that means our wind chills, our feels like temperatures, are only going to be in the mid-30s.